So all that risk taking, Joe, 200 indictments, 100 convictions. And is it true that for that you got like a $500 bonus?
Yeah, but I don't know where that. We actually had 247 convictions. So
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
So much for the internet.
Yeah, somebody put that in the internet, and I don't know where the hell that came from, but we actually
that's amazing.
in all the trials. Yeah. So and like I said, the things that I'm really proud of that operation is that we got an 2-week undercover school out of it. We're able to do that. Was able to get what we call a safeguard unit to look out for the well-being of the undercovers and their families. They were two good things that, aside from the convictions, and that was the wheel that really got the government. When I say the government, the bureau, going after the hierarchy of the mafia, because after that we convicted every mafia boss in New York City. And boss of every family we convicted in New York City, and even the ones that took their place, we convicted them. And now everybody starts becoming informants. And today the mafia, the American mafia, is just another organized crime group.
So is it harder though, because of the shock at what you were able to accomplish? Is it harder for people to penetrate now because they're way more paranoid?
Yeah, it is. There hasn't been any deep cover penetrations, and they're really not doing those. They have long-term operations, but it's operations where they have businesses going. They don't have too many operations where the undercover's out there by himself, running with the bad guys on a 7-day, 365-day operation. And a lot of my intro was cold. I didn't have anybody introduce me. I didn't have an informant introduce me or anything. So, and people don't want to do it either. I can't blame them. They don't want to give up their families and move away from their families.
Yeah. That's hard.
They don't mind doing short term, but nobody wants to do long term anymore.
So Joe, let's have a little fun in the time we have left. Let's turn to the film, Donnie Brasco. I'm assuming you spent time with Johnny Depp.
Yeah, I spent
through how he wanted to portray you. How was that?
Well, I don't know what you read about him, but Johnny Depp is a great guy. And back then to me as a kid, even though
I thought he did a fantastic job as an actor, but I don't. Yeah,
he did a great job. Back then he was, I guess, 30 years old, and he's a wonderful person. I can't say enough. We're still good friends today. Friends with his father, friends with his sister. I keep in contact with him. I can tell you some great stories about him that he would never publicize. As far as as far as him helping people and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He lives in a crazy world, Hollywood.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is.
Says the guy who lived with the mob for 6 years.
Well, let me tell you something. I'd rather live with the mob than live with some of these people in Hollywood. Believe me, some of these studio heads.
Yeah.
So I got to ask you, there's an iconic scene in this movie where Donnie explains to you that forget about it has multiple meanings, right?
Yeah.
Was that a real conversation you had, or was it kind of creative?
That was Hollywood, but forget about it was a word that we always, they always used, and the Paul Antonaggio, the writer, he played with it, and that's what he came up with that scene.
So having lived through this, and they made a movie, of course, from your experience. What about other films like Wise Guys? Do you have any other movies that you think capture the essence of what you lived through?
What's the one with Ray Liotta? Was that
That's Wise Guys. That was Wise Guys.
was that yeah? That was pretty much on him, because it shows the treachery, how these guys are jealous of each other, and the treachery that goes on. There's a lot of backstabbing because I'm making more money than you. You're closer to the boss than I am. There's a lot of jealousy. Yeah.
Wow. I guess though, and that happens in a lot of jobs, but I guess in that world it can be fatal.
Yeah, in that world it can be, because look, I had the guy that brought me into the Bonanno family try to have me killed 3 times, because he was jealous. He went to jail, got out of jail. I was close now with Sonny Black and Lefty Ruggiero. And, he thought I was making a ton of money and he should be making that money. So, he called what they have sit downs, and you bring for lack of a better word, your attorney. And, he's not an attorney. He just, and he brings his people.
Yeah. Advocate.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And, luckily I had Sonny Black and, he won the 3 sit. If you lose that type of sit downs, because one of the things is you don't steal money from a family, and that's what he alleged, they would have killed me right there, But Sonny won them, so here I am.